Hello everyone, this is Matthew Farquharson, the business motivator, and I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but this one promises to be good. We'll be going through season 1, the first 10 episodes of the podcast, and we'll be looking at the highlights of each episode. So sit back and relax as we go on this little journey and discuss what we have learned from these individuals. Episode 1, I had the chance to speak to Giovanni Maddox, the founder of The Right Space. He's somebody that somebody that I know for years, and it was good to have that discussion with him, talking about his experience in starting his business and some of the challenges that he went through. But one thing that really stood out to me was the fact that, he had a friend who encouraged him to use his entrepreneurial skills and to put them to the test and, to start a business and to study entrepreneurship. Here's what he had to say.
All during this time, I had this way of just finding PDFs, right? For my math classes. So I found free books for my free textbooks for all my courses. So I started sharing them with my friends, sharing them with my classmates, and then I decided to just put them in and just create a simple website and just put links to the math website. And I had a friend. I would talk to this friend, a good friend of mine, and I would talk to him like every day about this website and this idea I had. And he said to me, "Oh, Bridget, stop telling me about the idea and do something about it." And he said, I give you 1 month. I give you 1 month to build a website and to get, I think he said like 5 persons to come on board or 5 persons to download something from me.
Okay.
So that's all right, cool. And in about 2 to 3 weeks, website is up, links are up, books are up, and I had like a list of over 100 people that were coming on the site and downloading stuff. So then, so I went back to him before the 4 weeks were up, and I said, "Listen, so the site here, and this is how much people that started downloading." And he said, "Yo, Virgin, why don't you go do entrepreneurship or something?" And that was when
Right, so based on that snippet, we learned that it's good to have friends, family members, etc., who will help us go into the right path. Because honestly, sometimes you might not see your own potential and somebody else might see it. So when somebody sees a potential in you and they make suggestions, please consider it. Alright? So that was, a snippet from my talk with Giovanni Maddox. For episode 2, I got the chance to speak to Tyrone Scarlett, the founder of Vivid Ad Marketing, and then it was called Jobs IQ. I know it has a different name. Well, in this discussion, I learned about, trying to balance that 9 to 5 and, having that side hustle. And we did speak a bit, about, how to balance it and, some of the struggles that he went through. But, one thing that he mentioned was something that he learned, which said that, the more you learn, the more you earn. And so here's a little snippet of us having a little discussion about learning and earning.
Very saying of mine that the quicker you learn, the quicker you earn. And that is where Vivid Ad Marketing came from. It was like, what is it that you can learn in a, it doesn't take 4 years at
Okay.
university, but is also needed in this time that we're living in as a business model.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something from that clip. Tyrone has rebranded his business to C-Suite Resume and Career Branding. Now, I plan to discuss that with him in season 2, so look out for that. Alright, in episode 3, I got to speak to a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine that I've known since childhood. Ujadi Pinnock, the founder of Pinnock's Smart Home Installation. And he really shared his story of how he took the brave step in leaving his 9 to 5 job to pursue a business in installing security cameras and general electrician work. And it was a tough journey for him, but he persevered and followed his dream. And he encourages us that we can do the same. Check this out.
Walk into my department and I saw one of my co-worker and he said to me, what that in your hand? And I say, yo, brother, my resignation letter. And I'm a laugh and I say, you serious, Pino? He say, yeah, man. And he looked panic. It wasn't sealed at the time, so you could have just open it. And he looking at it and he said, Pino, you serious? I'm saying, yeah, man. And guess what? The, the letter said immediate effect.
Right, right.
And surprised when I handed the letter and the contractor read it and say immediate effect. And me say, yeah, man, immediate effect. And he was kind of sad because as a Christian, we were taught to be diligent in our work.
That's true.
So as a Christian working there, I never get complaint yet. But
That's
I
good.
always come on time, but I always do my work, but I always do that I was told. Anything they tell me, I do it.
Very good.
Since I was a good worker, so I feel a way and he asked me what. So he said, Pick up, what are you going to do now? I'm going to tell him my plans. And he looked at me and he said, Pick go on. And he said to me,
I hope as you have watched that video, you were inspired to also follow your dream, whatever it is. And I hope that you achieve that dream. For episode 4, we're going to have to talk about Mr. Quinel Ming, the founder of Canopy Media. Not Canopy Media, as I thought, but Canopy Media. It was a very good discussion talking to this gentleman about, his media company that he built in order to, improve the situation at his campus at NCU. And, one of the things that he spoke about that really stood out to me was he encourages people to just start. Yes, you don't have to have everything in place, just start. And let me just say something here. When you start that business, it really helps you to get more ideas. Who knows? It's maybe the 5th or 6th idea that you have that will actually become profitable. But how are you going to know if you don't start at all? If you don't challenge yourself at all? You'll never know. So listen to what Quinel Ming has to say about just taking that leap of faith and starting.
Separate unsuccessful people from successful people is the fact that they just started. That is all. The successful people started what they're doing. Unsuccessful people,
true.
they're still waiting for some kind of opening or something. So just remember stopping everything intentionally, just putting everything on a hold. Because I wanted to really find the purpose of whatever I was doing. And then I really understood that in that time, I understood that I cannot separate my project's purpose or my business purpose from my personal purpose from life. You cannot separate it. So
I hope you enjoyed that. Another thing that stood out is when he mentioned the fact that he attached his life purpose to his business and thus making it easier for him to carry on. You know, he did take some time to reflect on what he was doing. And I encourage you to do the same. Attach your life purpose to your business. Don't just do it just for the money. Oh, for episode 5, we had our first female guest on the podcast, Shaniel Martin, the founder of Gold Soaps. And she shared with us her journey of starting this business. And one of the things that stood out was that she was at home with quote unquote nothing to do during the COVID period, and she had to take a little break from school, and she decided to educate herself on how to make soaps and other things that we use. And she has no background in advanced chemistry, but yet still she found a way to do it. And we have technology at our fingertips that can help us to learn things that we didn't learn in school. And so she encouraged us to use those to our advantage. Let's hear what she has to say.
The fact that you asked me that question, Matthew, I just wanted to add, for those who are listening, even if what you feel passionate about or what you want to venture into is not something that you are qualified to, there's always, we're in a, we have information right at our fingertips. We have YouTube, we have Google. There's so many different ways to learn different things. So if you're interested, even if that's not your particular area, you're still able to learn. Just do the research.
Alright, I hope you did gain a little bit of information from that. Just because you didn't learn something in school in terms of your degree doesn't mean that you cannot pursue it. If you are really interested in finding out something new, that new thing might be the profitable thing. Who knows? That was a good discussion. But we move on to episode 6, where I spoke to Stefan Roper, the founder of Roper Consultants. I guess arguably we can say that it was the first international episode of the podcast. He has a company based firmly in the United States as well as here in Jamaica. And he spoke about his journey, how it started here in Jamaica first, and how he took the initiative to make a good impression, and that opened the doors to many opportunities. Let's hear what he had to say about his experience of taking the initiative.
He took the initiative to go and learn and learn the software to apply it. So the core of it really is an opportunity presented itself. I didn't have the necessary tools at the get-go, but I took the initiative to invest in myself, and that's what being a successful anything entrepreneur means. It means taking the time out to evaluate yourself, knowing exactly where you're at and where you need to be, and set your path to get there.
I really hope you gained inspiration from what he said. In life, we have to take risks and we have to take the initiative. And who knows, taking that extra step may lead to more success in the future. Be sure not to doubt yourself too much and be down in the dumps. No, take that step, take the initiative, and chances are doors will open. Alright? Alright. So we move on to episode 7, where we had our second female guest, and that was Sade Laird, the founder of Wiggly Wag Doggy Beds. And she made a very important point that I don't want you to miss. She noticed that there was a, a point in the market that was not being fulfilled. And so she decided that, hey, I don't see this often in Jamaica. I'm gonna try it. Check this one out.
Love that though. But I was saying that I sat on this for like 2 years. I was here one evening, like on my television, watching a series, and there was this person with their dog bed in the while watching the series. I was like, But there's a lot of people here with dogs, but nobody with like beds and little accessories like those. I think I know you have like little, what do you call those things that they grooming and those little places that do those little things. I know there's a lot of those, and there's people who pride themselves in their pets as well, their dogs and their cats and stuff like that. I was like, this make a good business in Jamaica, you know that? And so that's how I sat on it for like, I sat on it for a couple of years, and I was like, really? Should I really? And I said it to one of my girlfriends. And she was like, you know, so that is a good business. And I said, you think so too? And she was like, yeah. Then it just started, and then I just wiggly wags.
The rest is history.
The high point of this video, and what she said, was the fact that you have to notice what is going on in the market to fulfill a need. Now your eyes have to be open, and you have to realize what is going on. If you're too narrow-minded, you're going to miss certain opportunities, and some of these opportunities don't come back. So you have to be careful not to be too close-minded. Open up your vision, prioritize that business vision. Right? So that was a good point that she made there. Episode 8 was also a very good episode in my opinion. I spoke to Shakara McRae, the founder of Shakre's Events and More. And she was talking about her experience and how she developed her skills over time. And she is another one who, though she didn't directly study event planning in university or whatever, she developed that skill over time and is using it to improve the lives of others. And so there came a point where she had a very low point in her life, the loss of loved ones. And even though that was going on, she still persisted. And I really do commend her for that. And that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't just do this for the money. Because if that were the case, maybe she would have stopped. Maybe the tough times would have really gotten the better of her. But she persevered because it was more than just a business. It was about improving the lives of others. So listen to what she had to say about her experience and how she persevered.
It was again on me to plan that funeral, help him along the process, go through the entire thing with him. And I remember my mother was very instrumental in telling me what to do and how to go through it. Little did I know that I was being prepared to plan her own funeral, because my mom died like 3 months after my aunt. So yes, I can say it with a smile now because it's a lot lighter. But my mom died 3 months after my aunt, and my sister, she was not here in the island. So I was like, okay, my uncle was there again supporting, but I was the one that was planning and executing. So from start to finish, it was a week-longer event. So I would have gotten a taste of everything. So when I say events and more, it's about every single thing in your life that would capture, whether it's celebrating or recognizing or reflecting on a moment. So from birthday parties to funerals to engagement to just because life is about celebrating. You're alive. God has blessed you. A lot of us spend too much time thinking on the things that are not going right instead of celebrating the things that are right. So yeah.
Wow. That was a lot to unpack.
first and foremost, my condolences to you and your family. That must have been really rough to deal with. But there is a silver lining. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Because, this young lady has proven that even at your lowest point, you can still find it within you to create something for yourself. It's amazing, right? She was at a really low point, must have been. And then we're winding it down to the penultimate episode of season 1. And we had yet another female guest. Actually, somebody that is relatively close to me. My own cousin, Shanike Britton Edwards, the founder of Shanna's Creative Fingers. And she had some revelations in this episode, talking about the many things you can do with crochet and how you can, be very creative. And she's doing something that people in the past, and like people like her grandmother used to do, but taking that and bringing it more into the modern day and being more creative with it. So let's see what she had to say about being more creative with crochet.
Age because they were making runners and practical stuff to put on your table and stuff, but nothing clothing. I'm realizing now it is somewhat in my generation where we're making clothing items and really stepping out of the box and making other things other than the basic runners and stuff with crochet.
Now we get to the final episode of the podcast. I've spoken to people who makes products, those who offer certain services. But then what about fashion? What about what you wear? Does what you wear say something about you? Questions like this were answered in this episode, episode 10, when I spoke to Siobhan Walker, the founder of Buy Their Suits, a very young and upcoming business that I believe has a lot of potential. This young man has it in his mind to advise people on what to wear, to which events, and to show that there is more to dressing than just matching colors. I learned a lot from this interview, and I hope you did as well, for those who watched. And for those who didn't watch, feel free to watch it. The links to all these episodes that I'm talking about will be in the description. But let's see what Siobhan had to say, and let's look at some of the work that he has done. Yeah, let's see it. Let's check it out.
It's straight away. Lower yourself. I have the tie for you.
Wow.
You already know that also. And he wore that tie along with the
Tie.
pocket square and the lapel pin. Adds a bit of royalty. Makes it look very regal.
Yes, it does. It does. I guess I just couldn't put in a term to it, but yeah, of course, a glass tie. You're going to stand out. I don't think I've ever seen this in person.
Yeah.
So and then this is the lapel pin, right?
Right.
Right. It really has a nice. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm learning some new things here, because I would have never really thought about that ever. Glass tie. Wow, that's crazy. All right.
Yeah,
so this is the kind of thing that you advise people to wear. Okay. Okay. I really hope you enjoyed these clips that I have shared, and I hope that you have gained some level of inspiration from what you have seen. Now, if you want to see all these episodes in their entirety, as I said before, the links will be in the description. Alright? Now for season 2, we're gonna continue with the numbering. So we're gonna start with episode 11. But for season 2, we're gonna be looking not only at the story of business owners, but certain hot topics in business, right? So there's gonna be more of a twist to the videos for season 2. Right? Some of the faces that you have seen in season 1 may reappear. Who knows? So, thank you for watching, and as I said before, I hope you learned something from what you have seen. I myself, I do have plans for the future. Prioritizing your business vision, volume 2 is actually in process right now and will be released soon. So look out for that announcement, right? For those who haven't read volume 1, my email will be in the description. You can email me expressing your interest in the book and I'll send the book to you. It's that simple. Alright? So, as you have listened to these people tell their stories, I hope that it inspires you to start your own business journey, having that business vision. Well, this is it for the review of season 1, episodes 1 through 10 of the Business Motivation Podcast. And I hope that you will be around for season 2. For those who have watched the episodes of season 1 and have been supporting the show, I thank you very much. Words cannot express how thankful I am for your support. I hope you'll be around for season 2, and I'll see you then. Remember, always stay motivated. We'll see you around for season 2. Alright?
So there, everybody's dream thing is
Sorry, something in my eye.
I hope you can edit that part out.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to edit that out. Just have bone up my eyes and stuff. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. This is your host, Matthew Parkinson, the Business Motivator, and this is episode 8 of the Business Motivation Podcast. And today we have a very special guest. Her name is Shakara McRae, the founder of McRae's
events and more.
Shakre's events and more videos. Then, if it is that, sorry, I got to edit that out. Okay.
So, for example,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm doing this.